back to another video. So it seems like that some of you are actually still a bit confused about the new changes. So I've actually decided to make another video just regarding PvE gear. Questions like how to obtain it, what exactly to do, and what gear is the best gear, regardless what PowerBook is telling you guys. So first of all, what you guys need to understand, PowerBook is actually just a database. So it will just tell you every new entry in the game. It doesn't necessarily mean that whatever is in PowerBook that you are also getting that. And also keep that in mind, like really bear that in mind that whatever I am telling you, that's how it is on Korea. I can't tell you what is going on the European servers, and I definitely don't know what is happening on the US servers. Right now, since Gameforge said that they are not gonna do a lot of changes to the client, to the game itself, there is a highly possibility that you will probably get whatever I'm showing you on Korea, but it can always happen that things will change and things will be a bit different than what you have seen on my video. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So I think that's, yeah, let's get started. So right now what I've decided, I'm gonna be going more in depth into the PvE gear to just explain to you guys what exactly is available there and how you guys can obtain it. So what they've actually done, as I showed you in the previous video, I've showed you they have added a new option here, and as you can probably tell already, yes, I've changed my client to Korean right now to be able to give you the right locations, the right places, which basically mean now that you are not able to read the names. So I hope that you will still understand. I mean, just keep in mind that this client is not available fully on English version. So, well, I can show you the stats and I can show you where to get it, but I can't really tell you the names of the gear. If there is like a certain gear which you really are keen to get and you really want to know where it's at, just leave me a comment in the description, and I'm gonna find out the exact name, and I'm gonna let you know. Yeah. Okay. So let's get started. So after 7.0 hits, hopefully, Gameforge does not take this option out. You will have another button in here in your profile. That one will actually allow you to open kind of the database, and the reason why I'm always calling this the database is actually called item guide. Like, that's probably the appropriate name for it. But the reason why I'm calling it a database, you have few tabs at the top, so it's kind of split it into half. So you have two tabs on the left side and you have two tabs on the right side. As you can read on the right side, that one tab means PvE gear and one tab means PvP gear. And yes, this is related to your character class directly, which basically means that if you are a mage class, you will have different things going on here, and if you are a physical class, a melee class, you obviously have different things. Also, if I probably go to the weapons section, and then if I look at the weapons, the reason why it's showing me sword here, because that's what I'm wearing right now. So if I would be wearing, let's for example, mace or a shield or whatever, it would actually show me those ones as well. Okay, so that's how this works. Now let me go to the left section and show you the tabs over here. So on that side, as you can see, you have your own character with whatever you're wearing right now, and it will change actually. So let me actually change my gear. So if I change my gear, those items over here change as well. So let me change it back again, and now I can see again whatever is happening. So the reason now again why I'm calling it a database, if you click on this tab over here, you actually see the whole database like you would do it on PowerBook, or it looks like a broker or something. So over here I have the possibility to just go through every single item or every single gear part which is available on the patch. also keep in mind that I am playing on the Korean server right now, and the Koreans are, like always, one step ahead. And since they are one step ahead, they're already at 7.2. So there will be changes between this user interview view than the one you have right now. But I'm gonna be telling you the changes as I'm going through it. Okay, so let's start with the weapon, because it seems that this is probably one of the most important things in here. I'm not going to be talking about PvP at all today, because I mean PvP is quite simple. Do the garnisons, plus it to 50, the gold, get the Genesis crystals, get the golden gear, plus it to 15, upgrade it to legendary, plus it to 15, upgrade it to ultimate. So that's it. There's nothing else to say. If you have previous one, there is a possibility to change it into the new one, and but you have to decide, because just keep in mind that the new ones are a bit more expensive, Abyss point wise. So you have to decide if you want to upgrade it right now, or if you want to do it later. Okay, so that's something you guys have to decide. I can't tell you what the best way is, because I don't know your character, I don't know what items you have, I don't know how many kina and whatnot you have. So that's something you have to decide. I think I did covered it to the best possibilities. And yeah, if you have more questions, you can leave a comment, but there's not much to say about it in general. So let's get to PvE, the reason why actually I'm doing the video today. So for PvE, the thing is that if I click on the first item, what I can see, I have the possibility to click on that. So depending on if you are someone who is actually just starting Aion, and or if she's someone who just came back from previous updates and you just don't have any ancient gear, how you can understand the whole system over here, depending on whenever you're coming back. So just open your gear, look what kind of gear you have, and then you have to look through that different steps and see which step would your gear part fit in, and depending on that you would actually go for the next step basically. So that's probably kind of the direction how you could see that. Also, if you're like a solo player, you might need the next step straight away. But if you play with others, if you have like friends who can help you out a lot, if you have a good cleric, if you have good teammates, you can probably even skip few steps and just go to like a bit higher gear in the ranking wise, just to be able to, I mean, just to get the better gear, I guess, right? Okay, so at the beginning, you actually have the first gear, which is that one, and that mug does actually mean that you get that through the NPC, the system, or whatever. So if I click on that, it will obviously show me the quest location over here. So that's one possibility. So if you have nothing at all, you go to that location, there will be a quest, and if you just do the quest, you will get the first gear. So now I'm gonna stay on that weapon for a few seconds. So what you can do right now is you can pause this video if you like, and you can actually just go to the broker, just open your crafting table or whatever, look at your gear and just compare the stats, if they're similar, or if this item is higher than yours. Because if this one is higher than yours, then it's already set it that this is the step where you need to chip in, where you need to start basically. Yeah, I know that's a sword. I know if you have like a mace or whatever, it will be a bit different. But for that case, as I explained to you, what you can do is, you can still go ahead and look for this item in like PowerBook or other places, and then just figure it out. But as I'm telling you, if you have been playing 6.5, you won't be at this level right now. You will probably you will be at this level right now, but let's get to it when we get there. So the next item would be actually the crafting one, but the new crafting one. So this is actually the new crafting one. So after that, we have some dungeons, I think. Yeah, we got the dungeons. So we got Narakali. So this is the solo one-man Narakali dungeon. So if you have something similar to those items, you know, gear wise, stat wise, if you have something which is similar to this item, you will most likely be able to do Narakali easy. Okay, yeah, depending on your class, so like if you're an assassin, you might have a little bit issue. Well, let me think about it. No, there is no boss in Narakali which will give you issues. If you have, if you're getting too much DPS from the mobs in there, I mean Narakali is the easiest dungeon. You should be able to do it on your own without any issues at all. You might need some potions. Use the 20% potion if you're like a beginner or something. The 20% potion, you can buy them from the Gameforge shop. It costs like 6 Aion coins. You get like 100 potions, and they're like a lot stronger than all the others. So even if you're playing a class who can't heal themselves, that's probably a possibility you could go for. So the first golden item is actually available in Narakali, as I just said. The second one is available at Makana at the top. So Makana also drops golden items, legendaries, and also ultimates. The Makana is already a different step, you know, but as I told you last time, you have the possibility to do it 2-man, 3-man, 4-man, 5-man, 6-man. So if you have gear which stats are similar to that one, yes, of course, there is a possibility to do that with 6-man, but that depends on your server. That depends on the community. So I'm saying it out there right now. There will be players. I mean, if you want Aion to succeed, if you want the game to succeed in the future, you need to be more open and you need to be more friendly to them. So there will be new players and they won't have the gear. So if you're always looking for someone with plus 15 ultimate and you're not inviting people who don't have the gear, I mean, those dungeons are not hard. They're extremely easy. You could probably solo them, you know, if you use your brain. So if you have people like who are using golden items, just take them with you. Don't be so greedy all the time, guys, okay? So I'm just saying that for the old veteran players, basically. So what I'm trying to say is that if you have something similar to those stats, and you do this dungeon 6-man, it should be fine. Yes, you will be getting more deep damage from the boss. Yes, you probably get one hits a lot, but if there is a cleric, if there is a chanter, or you know, a bard or whatever, you will be fine. So don't worry about that. Okay, just try to stay a bit like, don't stay close to Baritra all the time. Just stay a bit back, do your deep damage, and yeah, I mean, let you carry a little bit and try to get those legendary items if it's possible. Okay, so let's continue. So I'm really hoping that. So I don't know if any of Gameforge workers or whatever, you know, watch my videos, but if you do, I'm really hoping and I'm praying for that. This will help the game. This will help the game a lot because there will be a lot of players coming back to just see what's going on with 7.0, because just keep in mind, you know, how the game was designed or how the game is being built right now. They did a stop at 5.x because 5.x was going in a different direction and it was not that liked. So at 6.0 they started from 0 again. So 6.2, 6.5 was kind of passing time because 7.0 is actually the point where the content which was designed for 6.0 is actually coming in, which basically means that every player who left because they were missing content, every player who left because they were bored, every player who left who was just not happy with all the you know, whatever is going on in the game, there is a high chance and possibility that those players will or want to stay with 7.0, depending on how well we give this game out to the world. And that includes the community. You know how welcome we are, and that obviously a huge part includes GameForge. So this item is actually, you can get it from the quest again, but I mean, obviously because the NPC is not there anymore, so I can't do it, get it right now. The thing is that every single one who, like every single player who is new, he has a possibility to get a full legendary gear, PvP and PvE. So this would be like a nice starter thing, and this will definitely be enough to do every single dungeon on this map. I'm not talking about Duma. Duma is a bit more, well, I don't want to say it's a bit more tough, but it's just you need a little bit experience, you need a little bit more movement, you need just a little bit more friends in general. So what I'm saying is basically that if you guys from GameForge put those quests in there, players who come in new will have it a bit easier. So let's move on. I'm not gonna repeat myself like 100th time. It will be nice. If you don't do it, it's fine. So let's continue. So the next one is actually Pandora. So Pandora is also available in here. You can do it quite easy, and if you are, again, if you are like a veteran player, you used to have a high rank, you probably will still have in your open, like press P, open your inventory. Sorry, don't press P. Just open your inventory like I, and then open this box in here, and in there you should have those gold bars basically. So if you have those gold bars, there's a possibility if you don't need them, just keep that in mind. Open the Shugu sand shop, whatever it's called, and go to gold bar shop, and in the gold bar shop you will have different certain things. Just read carefully whatever those items are, but I'm just telling you that for the beginning, if you don't have any options at all, it's not the best option because it's a bit costly, but it is one option. So if you buy this box, which will be still available, this one includes a legendary weapon, and this one includes a selectable legendary gear part. Okay, so this is that one. So if you want to get that, that's also a possibility. Stat wise, it's compared to the legendary Pandora gear. Okay, so now let's continue. After that, and yes, I told you last time in my last video what that icon means. On that weapon, it means world boss, which basically means that, let's start with the right one because it's easier. So if I click on that one, I can locate where the world boss spawns. So this one is actually the spawn place from Animus, and yes, it is an extendable weapon. That's what they have changed. The legendaries are also extendables. Yeah, let's continue with the second one. The second one is actually in Duma. So those bosses are a bit more tough, and you need a bit more people, and definitely it will take quite a while to kill them because they have a lot of HP. And if you are someone who has, gear wise something like on that area, let's say, or below that, it will be definitely tough. And I do understand if people don't really want to invite you. I'm not saying it's a good thing, because if we have a huge alliance or union, everyone is entitled to loot, so it should be fine, I guess. So that's something you have to just figure out, but this is also a possibility. So let's continue with the next one. So after that, we get Senecta. So in Senecta, usually people would probably use it as cash loot, but it's also there. You have the Senecta dungeon in here, and stat wise, again, you can click on it. What I'm actually trying, I'm trying to stay on one item for a while, so you are able to just compare the stats. Just pause the video and compare the stats with yours if you want to get ready beforehand. So the next one would be the crafting one. If you are totally new and you don't have a clue what's going on, and you like to farm a little bit, you like to grind a little bit, this is probably also a good option. If you're like a solo player, this is probably the best option for you to just craft you like golden or legendary gear. It won't be that hard. I mean, you have to do it anyways because PvE wise, as I said many times before, 7.0, the strongest weapon PvE wise in Korea is the crafted weapon. And since you need to proc it anyways, this is probably the best option for weapon, definitely, to just craft it. I mean, you will probably get a different proc versions and just continue crafting whenever you get like the ultimates. Okay, so let's continue again. I'm gonna close this one. I'm gonna close this one. Let's see. There you go. So the next one is the legendary Makana. Nothing much to say about it. People will probably use it as a Kina place, I guess. They will probably solo or duo it and just, get some Kina out of it. The ones who have full gear already. The next one would be, let's see what that one is. So this one, forget that. We don't have this option. This item does not exist in the version we are getting with the next update because this dungeon does not exist with us so far. This is a 7.2 dungeon and it won't be available in 7.0 obviously. The next one is Pandora. Those of you who did Pandora, well, I mean, lots of you like that. I'm more like, nah, I'm not a big fan, I would say. So it's up to you. I mean, if you really want spend weeks and months and all that, then obviously it's a possibility for you. But keep it in mind, it's kind of at the bottom. It's basically the first ultimate item. It's quite easy to get. You just have to finish a questing area. I would love it that if there were like a possibility to upgrade it to a better version, which as it seems for now, there is not. So, well, yeah, if you have done it, good is for you to sticking to it. I haven't done it. I was too lazy for that. But if you have done it, you basically finish the first step of the ultimate stages and you can continue with other items now. So let's continue with other items for now. Then we got the extend weapons. Yes, the extend weapons are only available for for melee classes who need extend weapons like assassins, gladiators, chanter. No, the painter does not use extend weapon. Yes, the painter can fuse his weapon as well with another painter weapon, but he doesn't use an extend weapon. So just to clear it out there, because I've been getting this question a lot of time as well. Yeah. So the extend weapon, how to get it or where to get it, it's again anonymous. The spawning time has actually been changed. He spawns also once a day in 24 hours. Same with the new world bosses. There's this big one in the center. Then you got like one at the right top. One. Wait, let me actually. One of you told me the other day that if I'm clicking on whatever, you can't see that. So let me actually just mark the areas wherever it is. I don't know if you can see the white blinking, if you're like able to notice it, but I'm just gonna do access and then it should be fine, I guess. So those are the world bosses. Those are the places where where you can kill the bosses, the world bosses. Now keep in mind, this is again for the veteran players and for all the other players. Keep in mind that all those 4 bosses, even Anamos, they drop a lot of items. They don't just drop the weapon. They drop a lot of items, and every single player needs those items. So first of all, the weapon is only good. Like I'm trying to explain you that, so please just try to understand that stat wise the weapon is shit. Sorry for the word, but stats, if you look at the stats, the weapon is crap. It's not good. It's a bad weapon. But the melee classes need this weapon because of the extend ability. Okay? So they are the only ones who need this weapon. So please, mages, and please, bard and whatever other class there are who don't need an extend weapon, if you are at the boss and if you are rolling it fair class wise, don't roll. Please just pass press pass just once in your life, press pass and help someone else. Sorry if I'm sounding a bit rude. That's not my intention. It's just that those, media classes need those weapons, and it's actually really sad that because their drop rate is not that great. But if it drops and some mage takes the sword, for example, it's pointless. You will probably get like 20 mil, and that's nothing compared to what benefits the whole fraction and that person could get with the weapon. Okay, but you are not doing you're not wasting your time if you go to the boss, because you will be getting a lot of items, like other items, and you will be getting all the ultimate materials you need to craft the strongest weapon. So just get there, just help out, take those crafting materials, because the crafting materials can be looted by anyone, even if you're in the union, but just pass on the weapon if you don't need the weapon. Okay, so let me continue. Then we have the selector again, the ultimate one. There are actually three different ones. I can't really say much about it. Why there are three different ones? I mean, I don't know. They all look the same, so there is no difference in that. I don't know if we will be getting all three, but yeah, there are three versions, and that's how it is. So let me continue again, and then we have the crafting weapon, as I just explained to you, and the boss I was telling you about, the world bosses actually drop this item a lot, and they drop, what else do they drop? They probably drop this one as well, but they will definitely be dropping this item, which, as you can see, 24 for each try are needed, so it's actually really, really helpful and worth doing if you are any other class, because you will need the weapon, as I stated so many times, that the crafting weapon is the best. But now you're probably saying, wait, Felo, there is another one. What are you talking about? Like, the thing is, as I explained to you earlier on again, if I click on that one, it brings me right back to the new dungeon, which I just explained to you, that this dungeon is a 7.2 dungeon, is not available when we get 7.0. So we won't have this dungeon. So if you look at your item guide, it will look like this. Okay, so now those of you smarty pants who are really active in researching and and looking at new updates and gear and power book and databases and all that, I actually appreciate that. I'm not like, well, why are they looking at it? I actually like it, and I would prefer if more people would be a bit more interested in finding out what's going on, because this is something which helps all of us. So now let me reply to you what the issue is with the weapon. Yes, there is a new weapon, and yes, this weapon is much stronger than the crafting one, and the weapon is actually called Stella. It's like a Stella weapon. What is Stella? Stella Research Laboratorium is that one, and it actually has the strongest gear with 7.0. And there is also a weapon related to that, but no, in-game you can't get the weapon. Why? Because in-game it doesn't drop at the boss. I don't know if Gameforge will keep it like that, but that's how it is in Korea. You can't drop the weapon. The only way to get this weapon is actually if you open the crafting area, you go to to different items, and there will actually be an option. Let me actually see what the flip. Let me actually go through it like that. That will be much better. Yeah. So there is actually an item which you can use to craft the box, basically. Okay, so this is basically the option, and the thing is that there are two options. You can craft it straight away, so you need, this is the boss. This is the box where you get the Stella weapon, actually out of, you know. But to craft it, you need one item which cost 5 mil abyss points, and you need 4,253 stellar coins. So this is one option to craft the box, okay? And the second thing is that you need this item, which is also for abyss points, and you need 850 stellar coins. Now, that doesn't seem that big of a deal, right? But let me see if they have still, because I think that's exactly the reason, because there is one recipe missing to be able to go to that step. Let me see if it's on here. If not, I'm just gonna explain it to you why it's not available or why you can't do it. It seems like it's not in here. Yeah, it seems like the recipe is not in here. Let me just quickly check for a second. So guys, just bear with me for a few seconds, yeah? Let me just check if it's there. Let me just move it a bit quicker because this will... Okay, well, it's not there. So the issue is with that, yeah? As I was explaining to you, the problem is that if you look at the box, as I said, you need a certain amount of it to actually be able to craft it. So this item can't be obtained straight away. You actually need to craft it as well using other items, which the second step recipe is actually not available in here. But for that one, you actually need either 50 of those, or yeah, you need 50 of those, yeah. But as you can see, if I want to craft 50 of those, I need 50 of those items. So you, yeah, that's how it was. Yeah, exactly. Now I remember again. So this is the first step. This is basically the first step. So this one costs 5 mil, and to craft this version, I actually need to the recipe is 50 of those, and that's the recipe which is basically missing. So if I click on that one again, so this one cost 5 mil and this one cost 850. So I actually need to craft this 50 times, which is one, which is 50 in here, and this 850 multiplied by 50 basically. So I have a chance while crafting that I get this box straight away. But let me explain to you something, yeah? The stellar coins are worth so much more. You need them so much more. You can't just waste 850, especially if you don't have gear. You can probably do it later, but for PvE, come on guys, to be honest, no. Like this recipe is stupid. I mean, of course there is a possibility of 0.001% that you would get the box straight away. But if you don't get one with crafting while crafting 50, the next step would be to use those 50 to craft this item. And after that, you need another 4,253 stellar coins and another this item, which as I just explained to you how to get that, to craft the actual weapon box. And that's how you get the stellar weapon. And the stellar weapon actually goes between these two. But as you can see, it's not in here. It's not in the item guide, because as I explained to you earlier on, that it's kind of messy, and they have not cleared it out yet. So even with 7.2, you are not able to craft this box, kind of. I mean, depending on the version, whatever Aion you're getting, you can, because the recipe was available for a short time. I don't see anyone running with the stellar weapon on this server. Even my Korean friends, told me to go for the other one and just leave the box. Even, to be honest, with 7.2, even most of the players are actually still running with the Stellar weapon because the new dungeon is not easy and for everyone to do straight away. Okay, so that's the weapon. So I've been recording for 35 minutes already, so I'm kind of trying to fly over the other ones a bit faster. So now I don't need to do much explaining, I guess, because I mean the system is kind of the same. Again, the same thing. You got the crafting version. I mean, as you look on the whole thing, you can see that that with the symbols that how you would be getting those. So just for the sake of it, I'm gonna be going to the last few places basically, and then you can figure out how to get it. So for the feather, the best way or the strongest is actually Stellar Dungeon. So Stellar is a place where you will be getting the feather. Let's go with the wings. So the wings, those ones are actually, you won't have those ones because they are the updated version. So for the wings is, it seems like that Pandora for my class is probably pretty strong, but that's for my class. This is only for assassin. Depending on that, you have to think which you want to go for. I think for us, oh, I'm on PvP. Sorry. I was like Pandora. That can't be right. Okay, so for PvE, for the wings, the strongest are also from Stellar Devil Research Lab. Oh, it's keep resetting. Okay, I have to keep that in mind because I don't want to say something wrong. Now you got the arm bracelet. You know, it's also from the same location. Was it though? Yeah, it's also from the same location. Weapon, we have already done those. PvE wise, now let's see. So the helmet from Assassin is leather, is this one I think, or is it this one? Yes, this one actually. So it's also Stellar Research Laboratorium. Then we got the necklace. No, not yeah. For the necklace, I mean, there's already in Korea the possibility to do the hard mode and get the latest version, which we won't be getting at the beginning. So also that one, we won't be getting that. Let me go a bit down. So it's probably the crafted version again. Crafted version would be probably quite good, but the new crafted version, not the old one, yeah. Let's continue with the earrings. Earrings is also probably the crafted version. No, it's actually new dungeon, which is not available. So yes, it's also probably the crafted version. Gear, it's probably the Stellar again. Would be the stronger. You just need to keep that in mind. Like, just compare it with your Makana things. I guess you probably like your earrings. Compare them, like if you have already plus 10 or something, and you look at that and you compare it to your Makana, I would say you can decide if you want to keep it or if you want to, upgrade it or whatever. Yeah. Right now the raid is starting. Okay, so let me continue because I would want to finish it and don't take too much time. So for gear, it's also again Stellar, hard mode, easy mode, and Prometheus. The latest Prometheus is actually not that bad, so that's also a possibility for the shoulders. For the gloves is actually, let's go to the top again. It should be again Stellar, and the second one are again Prometheus. Rings, let's go to the top again. It's probably the crafted version is pretty good. That item, I forgot the name, is also the crafted version. So the boots, for newbies out there, if you have crappy boots on, just to run a bit faster, I would go through those items and see which ones have 22% running speed or any running speed in general, and try to get those as quickly as possible, like those ones, the craft version. If you buy them or like if you get them, they would have 16%, so this is probably a good option for the beginning. But for end gear, it would be again Stellar, and the second one is Makana. So as you can see that the different items come from different location. This is like normal mode, easy mode basically, and Promethean is easy mode. Then you have Makarna easy mode, which is technically you can do it quite easy, quite simple on your own. I don't think that we will be getting the hard mode straight away at the beginning. If not, this is probably a possibility which you can do on your own without any issues, and you can probably do it like 2-man, 3-man, 4-man, 5-man, whatever. As I said earlier, keep in mind just to open up a little bit for the community to just take few people with you. I don't know, make a deal with them so everyone can benefit from those dungeons, because those dungeons are extremely easy. Stella, on the other hand, is a bit more tough, and Stella wise, yeah. I mean, if you have like current plus 15 ultimate, you probably should be fine. Definitely with this one, you definitely should be fine. You can probably even do easy mode Stella, but for hard mode, you should definitely see if you can change your gear up to the new latest standard. Okay. So I hope this video helped you actually a lot. I'm actually really happy and grateful. I've actually noticed that I'm getting quite a lot of followers even on Twitch. You guys are actually hopping over to Twitch to follow me, which I'm really thankful for that, and I really appreciate it, because I really love doing all this. I know that sometimes my accent is kind of weird, and sometimes I speak a bit weird, but that's just a personal thing. Yeah. So thank you again. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for watching my videos, and just being there to let me help you basically. I know that sounded kind of cringy. Okay, so thank you very much for everything, and I would love some follows on Facebook, yeah, YouTube, and all the links are in the description. I've actually changed my Twitter link again, so it's the it was wrong in there, but I've changed it to my latest. But you can see my Twitch in here anyways. So I stream kind of every day, or every second day or third day or whatever, depending on my mood. I don't have a schedule yet, but usually stream on the weekends for sure. So that's basically up to you. Okay, so the video went long enough. Thank you very much, and take care. Bye.